So I figured I'd do a little bit something different today. So if you watch the news or you was on YouTube, you probably heard about the guy who got fatally stabbed in Brooklyn with his girlfriend or his wife. I can't remember if it was girlfriend or his wife. But first of all, tragedy. Condolences to the family and everything like that. I have questions though. I have questions because I don't understand a couple of things about this story, right? Like they said that he was not there. Him and his girlfriend was not there waiting at the bus stop, coming back from a wedding, ready to go home and stuff. But I'm just like, it's 3 o'clock in the morning in Brooklyn. Why the hell would you be sitting there waiting at a bus stop? Like, why? Don't get me wrong. There are some nice parts of Brooklyn, okay, but it's 3 o'clock in the morning, right? There's not a lot of good that's going on at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm just sitting there thinking, would it really kill you to like? Okay, that's kind of a would have been so much of a big deal to just get an Uber or hell, at the very least, even a cab. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't cost that much money. I just, I don't understand that, right? Then when you watch the video, this guy's in there, he's kicking Uber, he's kicking bikes and stuff like that, just really wilding out. And I get it. Your girl's there, you want to sit there and, well, as a man, one of the general rules is protect and provide, right? So you want to sit there and try to, de-escalate the situation, right? So he starts walking up to this guy, trying to calm him down and stuff, because, he can see that this guy's getting close and he's getting closer to them and his girlfriend and everything like that. He wants to try to just de-escalate the situation. But I felt like it did more harm than good, right? Like if you're not a fighter, just take your girl and just leave, right? At this point, your girl knows exactly who you are, what you're pretty much made of, what you will and what you won't do, right? And although it's not exactly the most manliest man of things to do, hey, you can live another day, right? So he gets up in his face, he tries to calm down and stuff like that. He trips over, like I don't know, the seat or whatever. If you have some guy that's like being that aggressive, the one thing that you never do is turn your back on him. Okay, you never turn your back on somebody who is being aggressive. Um, and of course, that's when it wound up happening, and they arrested this guy, or whatever, just teenager, has probably something to do with his mental health or whatever. But it's just one of those things where it's like I get that come back from the wedding and everything like that all late and stuff, but it's like, bro, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, why are you sitting there waiting at a bus stop at 3 o'clock in the morning? Nothing good comes from that, especially being in Brooklyn. Like, I know the way I'm sitting there telling this story, it's like I'm victim blaming. And in a perfect world, you should be able to sit there and just, you should be able to sit there and wait at a bus stop at 3 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon. It really shouldn't matter. And, granted, crime happens all the time. It doesn't need to be nighttime to sit there and have something bad happen to you. It just depends on the person and the situation. But there's things you can sit there and try to do to avoid even being in those potential situations in the first place. You're a New Yorker. I mean, I've gotten to a point I've just stopped watching the news. It just, when I saw it on YouTube, I was like, let me sit there and watch it. But it's like every time, an unprovoked attack. That's what it's always been called, an unprovoked attack. It happens in the subways a lot. Every time I'm going to Brooklyn, I always have to sit there and have my head on the swivel because you just never know. You always got to sit there and be on guard. And I'm going to be honest, I hate that feeling. I hate that feeling. I hate that feeling when I can't just sit there and just listen to music and just wait on the train or whatever to go where I gotta go, where I gotta be sitting there looking over my shoulders. But this is just the reality that we live in, especially in New York. Despite the whole Mayor Adams or whoever's the mayor to talk about, oh, there's more cops, there's more cops in the subways. No, it's not. No, it's not. I go and I see my friends at least once a month. And every time I go at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I don't see cops, riding the subways and stuff like that. So you got to sit there and be on guard. You got to sit there and make sure that you can do everything that you can to not put yourself in situations. Now, don't get me wrong. You got to go to work. You got to sit there and travel in the city, and it doesn't help to sit there and live in fear. But certain things you could sit there and definitely avoid. And one of the things I guess you could sit there and learn from this particular situation. Listen, if you got to get back at 3, 2, 1 o'clock in the morning, um, it's just not a good idea to just be out there in the streets by yourself or with somebody else because it's still it's I guess you could sit there and say it's just sitting ducks, you know. Um, but that's pretty much all I gotta sit there and say on that story. It sucks either way. It sucks for him. He seemed like he was a really good guy. He was an activist. He was just a very positive person in the community. And it sucks that we lost him to I'm gonna be honest, some nut job who was just going through stuff and decided to take it out on him. Um, I have more to it. I feel like I already probably touched some nerves, but I had to sit there and do this video because I was thinking about it all day since this morning. I was just like, anyway. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. I want to thank you for watching. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next video.